thanks so much for coming back to my channel. I first of all want to apologize because it has been a little while since I posted last, and there's a reason for that. I did go out of town for New Year's week, and I recorded this actual video the week before I left just because I really wanted to get it out in time for all of the New Year's Eve and New Year's and all that. I wanted it just done with, but I was having issues with space on my computer and uploading the video and just so many things, and so I just re-recorded it a couple times. I was having a lot of issues. This video has been the death of me. But I'm really excited to finally get it out there. I should, I guess, say, if you haven't seen already from the title of this video, this is going to be my 2014 favorite beauty products. So I'm going to go over makeup, hair products, and skin. At least the things that stood out to me the most and kind of changed the way I did my makeup, or I'm just completely addicted to now and I must purchase as soon as it's out, or just things that I'm super obsessed with from this past year, basically. I'm hoping this isn't going to be too long. I did actually cut out some things just because I felt like I needed to cut it out. So let's just get it started. So the first thing that I think really just changed the way I did my makeup altogether is probably the Beauty Blender. I am obsessed, you guys. I never want to reach for any other brush for my foundation and concealer. So this is it kind of enlarged and damp, and then this is what it looks like before you dampen it, basically. So you use it wet, and so that's why I really like it, because it really just gets into the skin and smooths it. It looks so perfect. I'm obsessed. It's so soft and bouncy, and I mean, if you haven't tried it, I totally recommend it. I did actually, very early on in this past year, I had gotten one of the off-brand versions of the Beauty Blender, and so I didn't really get the big deal of it, and I was like, oh well, I don't like it, so whatever. But the actual legit Beauty Blender really is worth it, so recommend. Okay, moving on, I guess we'll stick to face. This year was the first time I ever even heard of such a product, but the BB creams and beauty balms were so big, especially at the beginning of the year, and I particularly cared for these more than any other foundations just because starting off in 2014 I had been so used to using Bare Minerals powder mineralized foundations, and so using any sort of creams or liquids were so heavy feeling on my face. I felt like a total cake face and I could not get into it. So I figured BB creams would be awesome because basically they are moisturizers, foundations, it has SPF in them, they're some sort of tone correcting usually. I don't know if that's specifically CC creams, but just all together it's supposed to be a multitasker and amazingness, basically. My favorite, however, this year was definitely the MAC Prep and Prime Beauty Balm. It has SPF 35. This stuff is so much better than all the others I tried. I was that girl going to Ulta or Sephora and putting one half of my face one brand of beauty balm and then the other half another brand, so I can compare how it applies to the skin, how it looked, how it felt, if it was too heavy, how the coverage was, all of that. And then wiping it all off with a makeup remover and starting over, because I was determined to find the best one, and I really wanted to try other things other than Bare Minerals because I just got way too into that. But anywho, this is definitely awesome. When I actually first started getting it, this isn't my first tube, by the way, from this year either. But when I first bought my first one this past year, they only had like 3 or 4 colors to choose from, and they were all really light. I know that now they have a lot of different colors, so that's awesome because now darker skin tones and everything can all enjoy it as well, so I recommend this way. Okay, so next, as far as foundations go, I did try to find other ones that weren't just BB creams, but liquids and creams and all that, and I definitely had some weird, like my skin gets really sensitive, and I've tried a couple that kind of made me break out or just felt super cakey and I could not handle it. So overall, my favorite foundation this past year was definitely the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I'm so glad I ended up trying this because it really is super smooth. It doesn't feel too cakey. It's kind of a medium buildable coverage, I feel. And so you can add on to make it a heavier, you know, full coverage if you need, but it also doesn't feel like too much if I don't want it. It was awesome. It's great for pictures, so I definitely was excited to have this for my wedding. And yeah, I just like it. This was definitely my favorite this past year, and I'm excited to hopefully this year see if there's any others, because I did try several and none compared. So, love it. Okay, now I suppose would be concealers. So my favorite all-time this past year was definitely the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I see it all over YouTube, so this is probably not that exciting, so I won't go too far into it, but I use NW15. Super good for under eyes. It doesn't crease. It has some sort of anti-crease technology, so I definitely recommend this for anyone and everyone and their mothers and sisters and cousins and whatever. I don't know anyone who has tried this personally that did not end up really loving it. So kind of along with the concealer type gang, I guess, I really became addicted to the MAC Prep and Prime highlighter, and I use the Lightboost, which is kind of the pale yellow. I know they have a pink one and then kind of an orangey one, and you can kind of use them as color correctors. I like to use them on the high points of my face, so the cheekbones and down the nose, so it's really nice for just that added highlight and dimension to the face. So this also was a repurchase throughout this past year, so I love it. Now I believe to set those concealers, my favorite this past year was definitely MAC's Pro Sculpting Powder, I believe, in Emphasize. And I actually got the Anastasia contour kit this past year, and I tried a few other setting powders for under eyes and all that, and this has definitely been the one that I go back to each time. Nothing really compares. It really brightens under the eyes and down the T-zone and everything. I just really like the color. And it looks really white, but it's not chalky or anything. I would say anything from really, really pale skin tones to medium, or just a slight golden maybe, because really I only use it on the high points, so that just adds to that highlight, you know? Okay, so then next, my favorite contour color to use. I went through a lot this past year because it was kind of the first year I started going contour crazy and loving the idea of it, and overall, my favorite for contouring was probably the Anastasia contour color in Fawn. And this is from the original contour kit. And so this was probably my favorite thing that came in that original kit that I bought. Because it's a really nice, you can't even, I mean, I'm wearing it today, and it's just dark enough and cool colored brown enough to look really nice on my skin. It's not too heavy. Woo! It's really easy to blend and all that. So that's definitely been a favorite this past year. Now for highlighting, this is also probably not new to anybody if you search YouTube often, but for highlighting my face, MaryLou-Manizer by the Balm has definitely been amazing. I love using it every day. This is my favorite go-to all together. It's kind of just a shimmery golden ivory, I suppose, but it's not too glittery. It doesn't have too much fallout. I just really love the way it makes my face glow, you know? And that's what, I mean, if you're gonna use a highlighter at all, that's what you want, so perfect. Okay, so let's move on to eyebrows, because we all know that was a thing this past year, big time. And I even have a eyebrow tutorial that I use something completely different. So I was thinking of this year doing a new updated brow tutorial, because I have a completely different way of doing them now because this came into my life. So my favorites obviously were the Anastasia Dipbrow pomades. I'm obsessed. I don't think I will ever probably use anything else for my eyebrows, just because you can make them look natural and you can make them look dramatic and bold or whatever. And they have so many different colors that are perfect. They have warm shades and cool shades and all the in-between shades. Whatever. So I use two. Sometimes if I'm lazy or if I'm not doing anything too fancy, then I'll just use one. That would be the soft brown. But I do like using medium brown on just the tail of the brow, the outer tail, because it just kind of adds that ombre effect, but it's super, super not noticeable. So I don't know. I guess I just feel like my eyebrows will last longer if I use 2 instead of 1, because then I won't run out as fast. Does that make sense? It does to me. But anyway, so I loved the Dipbrow, and I did actually try using the Brow Wiz, the pencil from Anastasia too, and it did not last. It lasted maybe 2.5, 3 weeks tops. And so that was super disappointing because I think it's actually more money. It's more expensive than the Dipbrow, which seems ridiculous to me because the medium brown I got before the Brow Wiz even. And how does that make sense? Why would I keep repurchasing that? Which it wasn't bad, but yeah, I just don't see the point in spending the money and then it going away super fast. So moving on. Something that was definitely one of the most exciting things this past year was the findings of liquid matte lipsticks. I am obsessed. They are my favorite things right now. Especially the Lime Crime Velveteens. They, I believe, definitely had the best formula. I tried many different brands. The only reason I even only have 3 of these is because I was trying to just venture out and explore all the other types that were out there. But these were definitely the best. I just feel like they're not too drying. They do last so long and they have really awesome colors. They've been slowly coming out with more and more actually. So I'm all about it. I need to get all of them. And the packaging is just so cute. They have little roses and I just love them. They're doing good things. Another brand that I did try of the liquid lipsticks was the Stila Stay All Day. It's just the Stay All Day liquid lipsticks. I do have 4 of those and I do really like them. The only thing about this brand that I noticed at least was that there are different formulas. So it's not really consistent. So say, because I have 4, 2 of which are Dolce and Amore and they kind of have a shimmery look to them. They have little glitter specks in them. And then I also have Patina and Tesoro and they're just completely matte. And so what I realized is that the matte ones had an awesome consistency, go on smooth, long lasting. I love them. But these other 2 that kind of have some shimmer in them are kind of heavy and too creamy and cakey. And so I'll put on 1 layer and it'll kind of be a little patchy, so I'll go over it where it's patchy to try to fill it in, and the overlap gets too globby, I guess. It just doesn't look good. It's not very smooth, it's hard to work with. The consistency is just not so great, not up to par, but I would definitely be down to try other ones. I just only really suggest trying the matte looking ones. You can see the shimmer in them. Love them, but was kind of disappointed that these 2 were kind of different. And then I also tried Dose of Colors and the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks as well. Something that I noticed about the Dose of Colors, which made them not as awesome. I only got 1, so I don't know if it's for all of them. I just grabbed this one because it was an awesome purple. But it's super drying. And even in the tube, it looks like it would be really dry and kind of uncomfortable on the lip. I was super self-conscious, feeling like it was gonna crack up and look really like, ooh, you need some chapstick. But it is really awesome colors and I am down to try other ones just to kind of see if it was just this purple because it's so purple. Maybe they just didn't get the formula right. And then the Kat Von D, I'll need to try more. It wasn't as amazing feeling as the Lime Crimes. It's just, Lime Crime won it this year for me. That was new to me this year actually, I think. Yeah, well, towards the end of 2013 I found Lime Crime. Another thing that I did find this past year, since I did become so obsessed with those liquid matte lipsticks, the Too Faced Lip Insurance Smoothing Anti-Feathering Lip Primer was really, really helpful. This basically made it so that I didn't have to feel like I never wanted to use my lipsticks again. My normal, boring, old, average lipsticks that I gotta reapply and all that. So this is kind of just like a really sheer glue for the lips, basically. That sounds really unappealing, but it's really not that bad. It just kind of comes with a little doe foot applicator. You apply it to the lips before you put on your lipstick, and it really does hold on to the lipstick for a decent amount of time. Not as great as the liquid matte lipsticks, obviously, but it definitely helps make them more bearable to still wear. Now for lip liners, I think that my favorite lip liner colors for this past year was definitely some lip liners from MAC. The Night Moth and Stone lip liner. So Stone is kind of like a smoky, light brown, beigey color, greigey. I love this color even just all over the lips. With nothing on top. It's super pretty. And then Night Moth is a really nice deep plum type color, I guess. I like that for outlining basically any reds or plums or purples or any of those colors. And by itself, I never really wore it too much by itself, but it's still a gorgeous color. These were definitely my favorite color options as far as liners go this past year. And then I also this year found NYX lip liners, and they're super creamy. They're not too dry and like chalky when you put them on the lip, and I'm just really excited because I usually get my NYX products at Ulta, and I'm always getting coupons from them, and on top of that, they always are having like buy one get one half off deals and all that, so you can add that onto the coupon price you're going to be using. So you can get these so cheap. I think they're normally like $3.50. So with the mega deals on these, they're so good price, and they're really good for the money. And I lost a color actually, so I'm really bummed about it. It was a really nice nude color. But yeah, so these were awesome this past year, and I want to get way more colors too. Okay, so next let's move on to eyeliners. I was really on the hunt to find a really easy eyeliner this year, like a liquid liner, because I don't really like the kinds with the brush because I feel like it'll wiggle and it's all messed up. And I also have really watery eyes. They're always tearing up. And so it'll suck so bad because I try so hard to make the liner perfect, and then midway through the day I'll have to wipe the tears out and it'll just smudge it all, and then it's destroyed. So this year I found Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This stuff is amazing. This is one of those super easy little marker felt tip type applicators. So it makes it super easy to make a really nice perfect thin line for the flick, and then just kind of apply it, and it's super black. It's perfect. I love it. It really does stay all day, just like they say. All that rhymes, so it must be true. So this was definitely a winner for this year as far as any eyeliner goes. I love it. And then I also found for gel, which I do really like using really thin angled liner brushes for my eyeliner, and before I found the Stila Stay All Day, I was so used to using it like with the MAC Black Track gel liner, but this was so much better when I found it. It's the waterproof cream eyeshadow, their Aqua Black line. Makeup Forever made this so nice. It's super creamy and kind of like a light airy mousse. When you apply it, it's so smooth. It's just so simple to apply, and it's waterproof, so I loved this for my wedding. It was just really black. It's blacker than Black Track, so this was definitely a favorite this past year. I'm so glad I found it. Let's move on to eyes, more eyes. So something that was super exciting this year for me to find, it's probably in my top 3 favorites overall of this past year, was the Lime Crime Venus palette. I already did a whole video with a tutorial, swatches, review, whole little thing like that, so I'm not going to go too far into it. I will link that video below if you are more interested in seeing more about it, but it's just the prettiest corally, rose, peachy, warm wine palette. It has the most gorgeous colors. It is super creamy. When you touch it, I was like, ah, it's so nice. I was so excited that I found it because I know this was super hard to find this year because it sold out so fast on the Lime Crime website, and it was just such a hot item this year, you know, this past year. But anyway, this is definitely my favorite overall palette that I found this year because it's so gorgeous, and I just love creating these warm looks, and I can't wait for spring and summer because this will be perfect. Come here. What is it, Pico? wanted to say hi. I locked him in here with me. This is Piccolo. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, he'll just hang out. I think my favorite shadow, like individual shadow this year, I found MAC's Pro Longwear eyeshadow in Uninterrupted. And so it's slightly bigger than their average eyeshadow pans, basically. But this is the prettiest vomit color you will ever find. It kind of scared me away at first because I just figured it was kind of an ugly, pukey color. But it's the prettiest browny, yellowy, warm khaki color. I don't know. It looks so gorgeous though when you put it on the eyes, and it can go with any color, I feel. Reds, browns, grays, blacks, blues, greens, whatever color in the rainbow. Adding this in the as a transition color in the crease, or just on the lower lash line with something completely different on top. It's just so pretty. I love it, and I will definitely be repurchasing and repurchasing because it is my favorite right now. Okay, what next? I think that's done as far as actual makeup cosmetics go. So next is hair and skin. But before I get into those, something that I also found very recently, but I felt that it was worth sharing because it's kind of amazing, is the OPI Infinite Shine nail lacquers. They're basically like the gel nail polish without needing the fancy light, which is amazing because my nail polish is always chipping off within the first 24 hours because I'm a hairstylist. I am constantly working with chemicals and water, constantly shampooing and chipping off. It's just gonna happen. I got these. This is the gloss top coat, and then this is the color, obviously. It's a really pretty kind of mauvey nude. It comes also, they recommend to use the base color as well, but I don't know, I just kind of wanted to be cheap and not get all of them, because they are more expensive than the normal OPI nail polishes. But I've been really, really needing to work on my nail game because if you've seen any of my videos, you know they are always looking real haggard. But anywho, I've had these on for, can you see? I think maybe almost 5 days, and they look really, really good. They're just on the very, very tips. A very fine bit of it is starting to chip off, but that's kind of an amazing thing though for a normal nail polish. I'm really excited about them, and I want to get more colors, and I think I will try it with the primer color as well, like the base coat. We'll probably purchase that in another color soon, just because I'm curious if it does this without even going with the 3 full steps that they suggest. Then just imagine how awesome it will be if I actually do it correctly. So I do recommend these if you are like me and are always having issues with your polishes chipping, and yet you do not want to pay for a monthly gel work on your nails, because I do not want to spend the money, and I feel that it really kind of damages my nails, the gel stuff, so I don't prefer to do it, especially on a regular basis. I've only really done it on very, very special occasions, so awesome for these to come out. Also, I actually did see something sort of like these that we're claiming as a no light gel polish at Sephora. I don't know if they have them anywhere else, and I don't remember the brand name or anything, but if you have tried anything like this, let me know, because I'm really curious of what other types of brands are coming out with it, because I'm sure it's becoming, you know, a popular thing. At least it will be, I predict, if it's not already. Next, let's stick to skincare now. This was the first year in 2014 that I found out about the Mario Badescu skincare line. I heard a lot of different YouTubers rave about that brand, so I was really excited because Black Friday I ended up finding this awesome kit that came with all these little travel size things, so I could try all these different things. It came with a toner, a cleansing gel, the rose water spray that they have, and then a night cream, and I believe a serum of some sort, but it was really tiny, so I didn't feel like showing it. But before I even got that kit, I had got one of their eye creams. I have the glycolic eye cream, and when I put it on, it felt so nice and smooth around my eyes, so I loved it automatically. That's why I was super stoked about finding that kit. But I really love the rose water spray, and I've already recommended this brand to many people if they're looking for just something good, because they cater to dry skin types, oily skin types, combination, you know, every skin type. I really like that on each of the containers it says what skin type it is best for. So like these say it's best for all skin types. This one says it's best for dry, combination, and I don't know what the S stands for, but you get the idea. It's really nice that they put that on there so you don't have any issues. This brand overall is actually a really decent price range. I think it's from like, well, the rose water in a full size is only $7. Crazy. So if you just want something to mist your face as a somewhat of a toner slash just something to rehydrate and boost your face throughout the day, that is so, so cheap. And then the rest is like $15 to maybe $30, $35 tops. I don't know. I just really liked that brand and was excited about it this year. And then also in 2014, I repurchased this moisturizer, the Bare Minerals Purely Nourishing Cream with Rare Minerals Active Soil Complex. This is for dry skin. They also have one for combination oily skin. I just loved this stuff. I'm almost empty on this one, and it's probably like my third or fourth one this year. I don't know. I love this one for especially the daytime, because I'm kind of getting hooked on the Mario Badescu as far as night creams and all that, and eye creams and serums and stuff. But as far as a day cream that's not too heavy, I really love this stuff. And even if you just want it for that's it, this stuff is awesome. Something that I also used a lot in 2014 was the MAC wipes. I just thought I wanted to throw them in as far as skincare goes, because they really do feel super nice on the skin. Whenever I come home really late and I don't feel like washing my face, I need to at least use this. It's really good for removing every bit of makeup. It feels refreshing, and it doesn't break my skin out because I do have really sensitive skin. So I really like the way this is. And it's definitely my favorite. I get the 100 sheets pack, so it's really big. And this isn't my first one that I bought this past year. I use them all the time. They also, I think, have like a 40 sheet pack or something. But I mean, I know I use them, so I get the 100 packs, but I definitely loved these this past year. Something that is also pretty new to me, but I thought was worth mentioning, because overall this past year I love misting sprays for my face because I get kind of dry and patchy on my face. So I came across this kind of towards the end of the year. It's the Pure Miracle Mist. It says hydrate and set. It claims that it helps the makeup last longer and hydrates your face. I had intended to get the Urban Decay Chill Setting Spray, but the guy at Ulta was asking me about my skin type and ended up kind of saying, hey, come here and check this out instead. And so I misted my face, and it's a very citrus, refreshing smell. I'm not the biggest citrus lover as far as smelling goes, but it is really refreshing, especially for the morning. And then when you're done with your makeup, just to kind of boost you and, you know, make you feel good. So I did really love this stuff, and I do love the way that it makes my face look, though. It really sets in the makeup and looks really nice and just finished. That's it for all that. Let's move on to hair. This is the final stuff. I only have like a handful of things, so let's just get it going. So I had a lot of issues with damaging my hair in 2013. So 2014 was basically all about trying to make my hair better and healthier and growing it out, mainly for my wedding and just in general because I miss my long hair. So Moroccan oil was definitely something that I am thankful for this past year because it's a lifesaver. I have the light version, which is good for light colored hair and fine hair, which I have pretty fine hair, but if I were to get it again, I would probably just get the regular version of it. But it's a treatment. It says ultralight formula rich in antioxidant argan oil that instantly absorbs into hair to immediately enhance manageability, shine, and deliver long-term conditioning without leaving residue. I really do love this stuff. I love putting it in when my hair is damp so that it doesn't dry all frizzy and crazy. And then I also love putting it on like the next day or on dry ends. I don't suggest putting it anywhere halfway over near your scalp or anything. Just leave it to the ends because, I mean, it is an oil, but it's amazing. If you have damaged hair, this stuff will definitely help it in the long run. It has like a UV protectant. It's just the whole shebang in a bottle. It's awesome. And this is kind of pricey. I believe this size is like $43, but it lasts you a long time. You don't need a lot. And it does come with a pump as well, but I started liking and preferring to just dump it like this. And it just gives you the perfect little drop amount. And then rubbing it together and putting it through my ends. And it's a nice shine. And yeah. Another thing that really changed my life this year, I'm sorry it's not looking too good right now, but it's the wet brush. It totally saved my hair. It does not pull or yank or break the hair as it brushes. It's just super soft bristles. And I have one at the salon for clients, and then I also have one here at the house for myself because it's amazing and it's been a hair saver for sure. I definitely recommend it for anyone. They have all different colors too, so that's super cute. I have the pink, I have black, and then they also have purple, blue, green. I think they have like cheetah print and different prints and stuff, so it's awesome. Definitely recommend this. Okay, so another thing with hair that I really think helped it this past year was the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In product. And I actually would never have thought to even use this brand if it weren't for a hair convention I went to, I think later in 2013 or something. But so it basically opened my eyes to how amazing it is, because this stuff, as soon as I started using it, it's a leave-in conditioner. So after I shower, I'll spray it all over my hair, and it makes the biggest difference. If I miss a day of using this, my hair feels super dry and not the same at all. It makes it feel super silky. I love this stuff. So basically It's a 10 products. They claim that each product basically narrows in on 10 different things to help. So this one in particular repairs dry damaged hair, adds shine, detangles, controls frizz, seals and protects hair color, prevents split ends, stops hair breakage, creates silkiness, enhances natural body, and it's a flat iron spray and thermal protectant. That's so many things. If you are having issues with spending money on all of these different products that you need to work on your hair, this would be a good one to start on because it will do a lot for you. That's a lot. The next thing that was really exciting for me to find this past year was, first of all, I am obsessed with dry shampoos. I have many and I love a few, very small few I have liked. But this one in particular was really awesome because it's the Bumble & Bumble Tint of Brown hair powder. So basically it says it's dry cleansing matte finish instant fullness. I definitely loved this for volume, even if my hair is not dirty, or oh, my dog just will not stop. And that's the neighbor too. They're all just chilling, talking to each other. Pico, stop it. So what I love about this though is it does not leave any white residue whatsoever. So if your issue with dry shampoos and not wanting to use them, try this because they have it in blonde, auburn, so it's like a reddish color, brunette, and black. So all those hair colors. This will not leave a white residue at all. So no more excuses for everyone who says that they have to wash their hair like every day. You're damaging your hair. I totally recommend this. Awesome. I'm so glad I found it. One last thing that I will mention, just because I have yet to find anything better and I've been obsessed with it all year round, is a hairspray. The Sebastian Reshaper is the best. I don't want anything else. I've tried using other hairsprays and they just leave either it's too heavy or it's not holding enough. This is just the perfect, I mean, it's a reshaper, so it will hold just as much as you want and you will still be able to brush it out later in the day and restart it for the next day or whatever. I just really loved this hairspray, so if you're in the market for a new really awesome one, I definitely suggest this one. Alright, I think that I am finally done with this video. I really hope that it's not too long, and if you did hold in there for all of this, then I really appreciate it. You're awesome. If you guys have any products that you really became obsessed with this past year, please let me know. If you too loved any of the products that I already mentioned, let me know as well, because I'm curious to see what everyone else is loving. Obviously, I want to know, because that could be my favorite next year. I'm super excited because I am going to IMATS LA, which is like a week away now at this point. I can't believe it. So if any of you are also going, let me know. Maybe I'll see you there. That would be crazy. I am thinking of maybe doing a vlog, like follow me around type thing. If not, it might be too crazy. I don't know. Then maybe I'll at least do a haul, obviously, because there's gonna be so many goodies. But yeah, I can't wait. So if you have yet to already, please subscribe. And if you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up, because I don't usually do favorite videos on my channel at all, but I am definitely trying to branch out a little bit this year. I do think that I want to try to post a top like 5 or 10 MAC products. Perhaps maybe separate lipsticks and then a favorite eyeshadows video. Does that sound appealing to anybody? Because I know that I get super overwhelmed when I go into a MAC store still. So I've seen so many of them on YouTube already and I enjoy watching them. So let me know if that is something that you'd be down to see. Thanks so much for watching, and look forward to seeing you next time, and Happy New Year, guys!